Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria calls for collective efforts in the fight against drug abuse. Stakeholders in the education sector seek educational reforms that meet needs of present economic challenges. Beautiful morning to you and welcome to the Breakfast News. I am David Obokwasele. The Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria Young Pharmacists Group has called for collective efforts in the fight against drug abuse in the society. The group made the call when they paid a familiarization visit to the state governor, Chief Willie Obiano, at the government house, Oka. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo was there and now completes the report.
The national president of the group, pharmacist Olagunji Moyewa, who described drug abuse as mother of all crimes, said that the Youth Pharmaceutical Group, which is a section of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, which was founded 2 years ago, is charged with the responsibilities of organizing free medical outreach, combating drug abuse through education of the masses on the dangers inherent in the practice, among others. Pharmacist Moyewa, while commending the state government on the supports given to the main body of the association, appealed that such gesture should be extended to the young section.
We have just done our part in making it really little since the pilot study. The state government could make it a big project to ensure that they reach out to every school in the state.
Speaking, the senior special assistant to the governor on pharmaceutical matters, pharmacist Chibuz Oka, called on youths to desist from drug abuse as, according to him, the act is destructive to their future and destiny in life.
I first have to commend His Excellency, the working governor of Anambra State. He is the one that has granted the profession of pharmacy profession a mainstay in his government. He goes away to show he has interest of the state at heart.
Responding, Governor Obiano, represented by his deputy, Dr. Nkemo Okeke, commended the group on their contributions to nation building and reshaping of mindsets of the youths. Governor Obiano, who described pharmacists as indispensable in health circle and the society at large, assured the group of the state government's support and wished them well in their forthcoming conference holding in the state soon.
The world needs to get out there, and there needs to be a lot of awareness in the society so that kids will stay away from such bad habits.
From the government house in Oka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
The Anambra State government has announced the first round of July 2019 National Immunization Plus Days, NIPDs, the program which would be run by the Anambra State Primary Healthcare Development Agency in collaboration with partner bodies, including the World Health Organization, WHO, and the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, shall be available for children between the ages of 0 to 59 months. Correspondent Daniel Ezigwe was at the Jerome Udoji State Secretariat where the announcement was made to the press and now completes the story.
The July 2019 first round of the National Immunization Days will kick off on Saturday 20th and end on Tuesday 23rd of July 2019 and will cover areas such as homes, churches, mosques, schools, markets and other places where children are found. Announcing this in his office, the Anambra State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Vincent Obala, noted that the house-to-house sweep method was to ensure that every child has the opportunity to get immunized. Dr. Obala also announced that a new vaccine will be introduced into the immunization schedule from August 9th this year and said that it will be given to children at 9 months of age to protect them from meningitis.
Polio is spread by fecal-oral route when the stool of an infected person is introduced into the mouth of another person through contaminated water or food. Oral transmission by way of an infected person's saliva may account for some cases too.
On her part, the Executive Secretary of the Anambra State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Chioma Ezenyemu, said the target was to reach every child in Anambra State and sustain the 14-year-old immunity of the state from poliomyelitis and other child-killer diseases.
Every 10 years, we had the MENAFRIC. We had the last campaign, 2014. But now it is going to be under routine immunization, and that is what we have always asked for. Let children be given on routine basis.
Speaking on behalf of the partner bodies, the Anambra State Coordinator of WHO, Dr. Chukwumwanya Igboekwu, said the NIPDs is a very important program that reaches all children, especially those who reside in hard-to-reach areas, adding that there will be a 2-day mop-up to get to the children who could not be vaccinated in the main phase.
Immunization is very important for the health of our children, and the National Immunization Plus Days is a very important opportunity for us to reach children, especially those children in very hard-to-reach communities.
The target population of children between 0 to 59 months to be vaccinated in Anambra State in the period is 1,197,644, while the target population of children less than 1 year to be vaccinated in the same period is 239,529. In Oka, Daniel Ezigwe, ABS News.
In education, Anambra State has emerged first and second positions in the junior and senior categories of the students' competition organized by the All Nigeria Confederation of Principals of Secondary Schools, ANCOPS. The competition was part of 2019 National Congress of the organization held in Sokoto State. Commissioner for Basic Education, Professor Kate Omenora, made this known to newsmen in her office. Education correspondent Theophilus Okoha now completes the report.
Commissioner Menura also announced that Ms. Ikulugo Chiamaka Favor, a student from Queen of Rosary College, KRC Onitsha, came first in the junior category of the quiz competition, while the student from Maria Regina Model Comprehensive Secondary School, Newi, Ms. Oba Mary Queen, came third in essay writing in the senior category. Professor Menua attributed all successes recorded by Anambra's students in both national and international competitions to the state government policy of leaving no child behind.
Our students are doing us proud and our teachers are working very hard. So that's our latest one, which I'm really excited about because to me, it shows that all the investment that Willoughby is making in education is not in vain, and that the partnership that you have with the church is actually working.
Theophilus Okoha reporting for ABS News.
In furtherance of its efforts to make cassava farming more lucrative, the State Coordination Office of IFAD VCDP has organized a one-day town hall meeting on economics of production for cassava stakeholders and outgrowers came on cassava value chain. The meeting, powered by Vaughan Food Nigeria Limited, took place at the Agricultural Development Program Office in Oka, with cassava farmers from Ayamelum, Anambra East and West, Oka North and Orumba North Council areas in attendance. Over now to our agri correspondent, Ebeleze, for details.
Declaring the meeting open, the State Program Coordinator, Federal Government IFAD VCDP, Mr. Anambra, who announced the readiness of Vaughan Foods to offtake all the cassava from Anambra State, listed fragmentation of land as their major challenge. To tackle the challenge, Mr. Aguncha noted that they have planned to sensitize farmers on urgent need to come together under cluster platform for easy land development, management, harvesting, and off-taking of their produce. He, however, added that Vaughan Foods, in partnership with IFAD VCDP, is willing to assist them with land development, subsidized farm inputs, and agrochemicals.
We're trying to see how we can sensitize farmers to come together and do what we call cluster farming to be easier to manage. So we were discussing with cassava producers, even the processors too, to see how they can come together, get a piece of land of a minimum of 10 hectares. Vaughan is willing to assist in developing this piece of land.
Contributing, the head, Project Monitoring, Reporting and Remediation, NISAL Office Oka, Mr. Ozoma Aligwekwe frowned that land fragmentation is seriously affecting their services to farmers. In his remark, the General Manager of Vaughan Food, Mr. Ifeanyi Usuwa, tasked local government CAF chairmen to open a collection point in their council areas where farmers can bring out their cassava for general offtake by Vaughan Food until the issue of fragmentation is solved.
Everybody has to compete, and if you cannot compete, there's no how you can sell. And for you to compete, you must do the right thing.
The State Business and Market Development Officer, Federal Government IFAD VSADP, Mr. James Mozie, urged CAF to furnish their office with their own conditions on the business models reached so that an MOU can be raised.
The farmers will come up with the land, they will arrange for the land, they will arrange for their personal level input. God will now take care of everything, and they will now agree on uptake price. And that price will guarantee gradual recovery of one's investment.
The meeting featured question and answer session from the Agricultural Development Program Office in Oka. I am Ebele Eze, reporting for ABS News.
The breakfast news coming to you from Anambra Broadcasting Service TV, live here in Oka. More stories after this time out.
ABS, Heartbeats of the East.
Okuzu people of Anambra State resident in Abuja have rolled out drums in honor of their traditional ruler, Professor Charles Anikweze, as he presented the 23rd inaugural lecture of the Nasarawa State University, KEFI. The 23rd inaugural lecture, tagged Assessment of Learning, a Panacea for Quality Education, was well attended by the university community, Okuzu people, friends, relations, and well-wishers of the Anikweze family. Ekwi Ajide of our Abuja Bureau has the report.
The inaugural lecture tagged Assessment for Learning, a Panacea for Quality Education, was well attended by the university community, Okuzu people, friends, relations, and well-wishers of the Anikweze family. The presenter, Professor Charles Anikweze, who is also the royal father of Okuzu, is an astute educationist and joined the Nasarawa State University in 2006 after retirement from the National Commission for Colleges of Education as the Director of Planning, Research and Statistics. He has produced 27 PhD and over 80 MEd graduates and authored a number of books, published 64 articles in reputable journals and books of reading. Igwe Anikweze has 98 conference papers and 20 guest lectures to his credit. According to him, if teachers get it right at all levels of education in Nigeria, the quality of education will improve tremendously. He said that quality education can be conceptualized as education that is relevant to the developmental needs of the recipients as individuals and society at large. Professor Anikweze is also of the opinion that quality education must be locally and culturally appropriate so as to teach the people to be better individuals, committed family members, responsible community members, and morally
be related to the accountability of the stakeholders in formal education. The challenges of innovative assessment are enormous, but they are not unsurmountable. Computer-based assessments are practical and should be formalized in all levels of education in Nigeria. Assessment for learning is educative assessment. My conceit is that if teachers were to get it right at various levels of education in Nigeria, the quality of education is bound to improve. Therefore, for learning is certainly a panacea for education.
Earlier in a welcome speech, the Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Suleiman Bala Mohammed, described the topic as apt, saying that since education is critical to the development of any nation, quality education becomes imperative as it will go a long way in checkmating the ills in the society. In their separate goodwill messages, the Dean Faculty of Education in the university, Professor Nok Mekibi, the President General of Okosu Progressive Union, Chief Judge HSA, Professor Augustine Odili of the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital, Architect Eric Onyekwena, Barrister Frederick Ozemenam, among others, eulogized the traditional ruler for achieving the laudable feat, while the daughter of the presenter, Mrs. Adobe Ekuno, on behalf of her siblings, said their father had been a pillar of encouragement and support who taught them all the good things of life, which enabled them become better citizens.
He gave us a standard about growing up in our home, and he said none of us should discuss or mention marriage here except you attain your first degree. That was the minimum standard. And so even when people were coming to ask for our hand to marry, we always tell them to just have to wait until this person finishes. And of course, sometimes they will be like, oh, okay, let me just marry her and then she will finish up.
The good people of Okosu, we are here to congratulate our son and our people. As a matter of fact, you may use this opportunity to get President General of Okosu and Professor Charles and the President.
The Anambra State Internal Revenue Service is intensifying efforts towards improving the revenue generation of the state. The Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the Anambra State Internal Revenue Service, Dr. David Nzeku, stated this on the occasion of bid opening for management of motor parks in the state held in Oka. Correspondent Valentine Mbadora has the details. Addressing the prospective revenue agents that will be in charge of the motor parks and other areas of revenue collection in the state, Dr. Nzeku noted that so many significant changes have been made in the method of revenue collection, which is geared towards improving the revenue being generated for the state. Dr. Nzeku further maintained that adopting transparent approach in the bidding process was to ensure that credible persons were selected as revenue agents for proper accountability, but warned against any act of revenue fraud in the future, as anyone caught will be severely dealt with.
We do better if we openly and transparently conduct this type of things so that we can improve the revenue that comes to the state.
Contributing, the head of department, Legal and Enforcement, Anambra State Internal Revenue Service, Barrister David Onyilofo, explained that their past experiences with revenue collection agents is what gave birth to the new policy in order to keep them in check.
The bids were open before everybody, and anybody that is not successful can ask to see the criteria of the person that won the bid.
In attendance at the bidding process which held at the Anambra State Internal Revenue Service Training Hall, where the Commissioner for Transport, Honorable Chen Okafo, represented by the Administrative Assistant to the Commissioner, Mrs. Judy Jeff Mwapweze, Commissioner for Trade, Commerce and Wealth Creation, Dr. Christian Madubuko, Local Government Chairman, among others. It is pertinent to note that the bid opening, which was done before the over 200 bidders, is yet to produce the revenue agents that will work with the Anambra State Internal Revenue Service in collection of revenue for the state government, as a committee will be set up to look into the bidding documents to duly certify the qualified ones, which the agency said will be concluded within 10 days. Those that qualified, as well as others, will be communicated in writing, stating the reasons for the success or failure. That report by Valentine Mbadora was taken from our studio. We move on now. The Anambra State Ministry of Environment has extended its sanitation campaign tagged Dobe Anambra to the major markets in Anocha and Agwata Council areas to ensure proper enlightenment of the citizenry on cleanliness and safety of the environment. This campaign is a prelude to the application of the full weight of the laws on those who default thereafter. Correspondent Chibuzo Brike, who was part of the campaign train, now reports.
atmosphere recorded at the various markets and community visited, including Nwagu Aglu Junction, Ekadazin Nuku, Orie Neni, Nkwo Ichida, Oyeuga, and Ekulobia markets, was a sight to behold. At each of these markets visited, the gospel of the Anambra Ocha, a strategic action approach of the state government, was preached. There was a good effort to sensitize, empower, and raise awareness on the need for environmental cleanliness and hygiene, as well as its impending effects on the ecosystem. The Director, Environment Health Pollution Control Department of the Ministry of Environment, Mrs. Edith Ike, in her assessment of the visits, said that most of the markets are filled with debris, which defeats the aesthetics of the state.
Our purpose of coming out is to tell them the essence of keeping their environment clean. It does not matter where you are. Wherever you are staying, you have the responsibility to keep it clean. It's your household, the market, your store, office, anywhere.
The team during the show warned traders and residents to ensure that their water channels are kept clean by maintaining proper disposal, and frowned at those who trade on waterways, which, according to them, constitute blockages during rainfall. Senior Special Assistants to the Governor on Environment, Mrs. Jessica Nweke, Mrs. Florence Oredum, and Mr. Stanley Nkwoka, have this to say.
We're taking the message down to the grassroots. Number one is you have to keep your environment clean. You know, the government will do theirs, and we, the public, should do ours.
Waste are generated within the market environment. If we educate 10 persons in the market, they go back and educate other 20 or 30 persons. That helps us in our sensitization.
Some traders and residents of the areas visited, Mrs. Cecilia Ezani and Mr. Emeka Onyekwelu, contended that rainy season is usually associated with deaths from all areas, which in most cases seem impossible to control, encouraging the ministry to intensify efforts that will instill cleanliness among the people. From Ekulobia in Agwata local government area, Chibuzo Obidike, ABS News.
Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio TV Television. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV Online. You can follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Before we go, here are the main points again. The Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria has called for collective efforts in the fight against drug abuse. We also told you that stakeholders in the education sector are seeking educational reforms that meet needs of present economic challenges. And that is Breakfast News this morning. I am David Opowasale, thanking you for joining us this morning.